Some closed-door Penn State trustee conferences potentially run afoul of open meetings law. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share. Over the past year, the Penn State Board of Trustees and its committees held nearly 20 private conferences in which top university officials briefed members on key projects, plans, and initiatives, a Spotlight PA review of university records found. The practice potentially runs afoul of Pennsylvania's open meetings law, according to legal and First Amendment experts. The state's Sunshine Act permits closed-door conferences, but only if they serve as a training program or seminar or are arranged by state or federal agencies. The law stipulates the sessions be organized and conducted for the sole purpose of providing information to agency members on matters directly related to their official responsibilities. Yet, a year's worth of meeting minutes and recordings reviewed by Spotlight PA show a pattern that potentially veers outside those boundaries. Between June 2025 and May, the board and its committees held nearly 20 private conferences that functioned less like training sessions or seminars and more like operational briefings. Instead of a singular educational focus, conferences sometimes had multiple distinct topics, with university officials giving updates on construction projects, campus closures, budgets, contracts, and unionization. Melissa Maluski, Media Law Counsel for the Pennsylvania News Media Association, of which Spotlight PA is a member, said the majority of these conferences don't appear to fit the definition of a conference. Read more in an email. She said updates from staff are generally not considered a training program or seminar, adding that their connection to conferences under the Sunshine Act is questionable. Amy Kristen Sanders, an expert on government transparency and a professor of First Amendment studies at Penn State, told Spotlight PA in an email that the university is interpreting the conference exception very broadly, much more broadly than I would or that boards I'm familiar with or have sat on would. A spokesperson for Penn State did not respond to specific questions from Spotlight PA, including why these updates must be given in private and whether any discussion takes place at these conferences. Instead, they sent a statement saying the university believes the conference sessions are structured to comply with the law. Sign up for Morning Wire. Our flagship newsletter breaks down the biggest headlines of the day. Email address. Sign up by checking this box. You agree to AP's terms of use and acknowledge that AP may collect and use your data pursuant to our privacy policy. Conference sessions in which information may be provided to trustees for the purpose of fulfilling their fiduciary duties are permitted under Pennsylvania Sunshine Law. Wyatt Du Bois, Senior Director of University Public Relations, said in an email, "The board does not take any official action during conferences." The substance of these conferences only became public following a June 2025 legal settlement between Spotlight PA and Penn State, which forced the university to disclose the specific topics and presenters at these closed-door sessions. The disclosures revealed university leaders were the primary presenters at these conferences. According to Spotlight PA's review, over the 12-month period, 1. At least 10 sessions were led or co-led by University President Neely Deputy, who provided updates on topics such as unionization, state funding, the Big Ten, and key institution priorities. 2. At least 6 sessions were led by Penn State Senior Vice President for Finance and Business/Treasurer Sarah Thorndike, who spoke about the budget, the Beaver Stadium renovation project, and the sales of the airport and WSU. 3. At least 5 sessions involve updates on the closure of Commonwealth campuses. 4. At least 4 sessions were led or co-led by Penn State Health CEO Michael Kupferman on topics including ongoing improvements in access, patient experience, quality outcomes, and recent financial performance and key strategic developments. Sanders questioned whether the conferences, given their proximity to regular board meetings and the near unanimity of votes taken, were an attempt to conduct public deliberation in private. The topics discussed are, in many instances, clearly of interest to citizens of the Commonwealth, and it is hard to believe any information provided during those sessions wouldn't have impacted trustees' views on future action items, she said. For Penn State to keep these sessions closed from the public contravenes the transparency and accountability the Sunshine Act is designed to foster. Under Pennsylvania law, the Sunshine Act is triggered when a quorum of a board is actively deliberating, which is broadly defined as the discussion of agency business held for the purpose of making a decision